Hello, YouTube, and welcome to episode 2 of Flight Lessons in FS2020. Last episode was part 1, Basic Controls and Cameras. This is the lesson that we did last time. Of course, we explored different views. We learned how to pitch and roll the aircraft. We know how to use the rudder, the yaw. It's easy as that. And in this episode, we're going to be learning the main attitudes of flight, changing pitch attitude to control speed, adjusting the power to control the rate of climb and descent, and read indicators of aircraft performance on the instrument panel. That I'm quite interested to see. Let's jump into it. So we'll learn about the airspeed indicator, attitude indicator, the altimeter, the turn slip indicator, heading indicator, variometer, and tachometer. Okay. Tachometer I know because I used to fly the Cessna a lot. And the rest like altimeter, speed, attitude, and heading, I already know them. So it's like essentially the basics, but variometer I may have to try to figure it out myself. Okay, this is our lesson.
Today we're talking about attitudes of flight, how your plane is oriented relative to the horizon. If you look outside, you can see the cockpit is just about 4 inches below the horizon line. We're flying straight with a decent rate of speed.
Controls
This
C.
is the cruise attitude.
Oh, it's not
Let's
working.
see how it reads on your instruments.
Focus on instruments, press control 1. Oops.
Take a look at the attitude indicator.
Okay, attitude indicators in
As
blue.
the name implies, it shows your current attitude. The white line is the horizon, with the sky above and the ground below. That
blue and
orange
brown.
element in the middle, aligned with the horizon, that's your plane.
Okay, that's
Just
us.
like we saw outside, our current attitude reads pretty much straight and level. Okay, now let's see how much power the engine's generating. Check your tachometer. Looks like
There
we're
we
pushing
go.
around 2,300 revolutions per minute. Combined, attitude and engine RPMs translate to aircraft performance,
Okay.
which leads us to your airspeed indicator.
Airspeed here.
Now, last but not least, check your altimeter. To figure out your altitude, you always want to read the small needle first.
Okay, the small needle
That's how many
first.
thousands of feet up you
So
are.
1,000.
Then on to the big needle for the hundreds.
Right, for the hundreds.
With our current attitude and power output,
Mhm.
we're holding a speed of 90 knots and a stable altitude of 6,000 feet.
Okay.
But that's about to change. Take the stick when you're ready. Pull back slightly on the yoke to raise the nose just above the horizon line.
Okay, about 2 inches.
Make sure you don't pitch up too much, or the angle will be too steep to create lift. And without
Okay.
enough lift, we'll stall. Alright, go full throttle and start climbing.
Okay. Just
Welcome to the climb attitude.
there we go.
See how it shows up on your attitude indicator and tachometer? According to your
So full
altimeter,
throttle right
we're
now.
gaining altitude,
And we're pitching up by 2 degrees.
but we're losing airspeed even at full throttle, proving you can't avoid basic physics while making a climb.
I mean, sure, that is physics.
Okay, before we go on, let's get back to a cruise
Okay.
attitude.
Let's go back.
Ease up on the yoke and aim your nose just below the horizon.
It's
Then
already
throttle
am.
back down to 2,300 RPMs.
I'm just slowly.
Nice job.
There
We're
we
now
go.
set up with the same attitude and power we had at the top of our lesson.
Just holding the
Next up
stick.
is the descent attitude. Start by reducing your RPMs to 1,800. Then drop the plane's nose a bit further below the horizon. As expected, with a nose-down attitude, our altitude is decreasing, while our
Yep.
speed is picking up.
Oh, we're descending very fast. I can see it in the vertical
Why
speed
don't you get us
indicator.
back to a cruise attitude, and we'll hit the last part of our lesson.
Okay.
There we go. Now that we know how to cruise, climb, and descend, let's talk about the turn attitude.
Okay.
Gently pull the yoke left or right to start rolling the plane.
Okay, so we go left here.
If you take a look outside, you can see how our attitude's changed. But you can also
Okay.
check your instruments for the details.
Which I am already looking.
As a general rule, you always want to keep your turns under 30 degrees.
I guess like this.
At the top of your
Right.
attitude indicator, there's a series of notches representing 10 degrees each. Use them to control your roll.
Okay.
Notice the more you turn, the more you need to pull back on the yoke to maintain altitude.
Which,
When you're rolling
yeah,
out,
I
you
am
need to do
doing
the
that.
opposite.
And
Roll
plus,
and
I have to
push at the
combine
same
that with
time.
more throttle.
The more you know about the main attitudes of flight, the closer you get to that pilot state of mind. So keep practicing, and whenever you're done, pass me the controls.
Yep. So, oh goodness, I was about to say something. So that's the end of the lesson. She hasn't explained what a variometer is. I may have to look that up right after this lesson, though. But yeah, before I do that, um, speaking of sensitivity, last episode is I'm still trying to get used to it, but you know, it still feels weird. Like if I pull the yoke a bit to the left, it already starts going, but going to the right, I'm not. Oh goodness, I'm not sure. But um, during my free time before recording this, um, I've been flying for a little bit, so I'm just trying to get used to the sensitivity of the controls here. Oh, oh goodness. Yeah. Variometer, I have no idea what it is. But attitude indicator, I know it. Airspeed indicator, I know it. Altimeter, I know it. Heading indicator, which is underneath the attitude indicator, I know it. The tachometer, which reads the RPM, I know that. But the variometer, I have to read that later. So let's just end our tutorial here.
Thanks, I've got control now.
There
Well
we go.
done.
Done. Yep, that's the end of our lesson. Oh yeah, before I end this video off, I'm going to read about the variometer. Like, what is it? So be right back. Okay, we're back. We're back. So I just had to read. I just had to read about the variometer, or I just searched. I looked for images of what the variometer is. I feel very embarrassed right now. The variometer is the vertical speed indicator that indicates how much you're climbing. Like, if we go to, oh goodness, or okay, let's just go ahead and let's see. Live weather right now. Okay, let's just spawn in Vienna, Austria, and we use the, well, let's use the Cessna 172 because we're all very familiar with the Cessna 172. I mean, that's how every simmer in this game starts flying in flight simulators, the Cessna 172. So let's go ahead and hop in a flight. We'll just, I won't, I'm already going to be showing how it works, so I don't need to edit in stuff. Oh man, I just feel so, I don't want to say this word, but I feel dumb for not knowing what a variometer is. Oh goodness, that's embarrassing. Oh man, that's so bad. I'm just waiting for the menu to load up here. It's taking a bit of time. Well, it's a good thing that the menu loads faster now. We're almost done.
Beam Tower Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra ready for straight out
Oh
departure at
crap.
runway 16.
I forgot to change the voice. Uh,
Cleared for takeoff runway 16 Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra.
I forgot to change the voice. When I started playing FS2020, or when I started playing this game, there were no female air traffic controllers. Oh goodness, what is this? Okay, there were no female air traffic controller voices in the game. Like, why is it all male? So I decided to change I think the text to speech in my computer, and now my pilot's voice is female. Well, too late. It's already in the video now. So let's just go ahead and take off. I guess we'll just check that everything's ready. The flaps are down. We've got the landing lights. Yep, they're on. I see strobe lights. There they are. Yep, we're ready. Let's just go. Full throttle. And parking brake. I forgot to release. Oh gosh. Oh goodness, what's the wind? I can't pull back yet. I'm not yet 60 knots, but oh my gosh, live weather Y. There we go. So we're now taking off. We're pitching up about how many degrees? 5 degrees? Or is it 10 degrees? I think we're already doing like 10 degrees. Anyway, yeah, so we have airspeed indicator to the left, attitude indicator in the middle, and then to the right is the altimeter. And below the altimeter is the vertical speed indicator, also known as variometer. I didn't realize that this thing had a second name. For all I knew, when I was flying flight sim for most of my time, like during my childhood, um, all I knew was vertical speed indicator, aka VSI. And of course, right to the left of that is heading indicator. So that's basically that. I feel very, very embarrassed that I didn't know that vertical speed indicator is also called variometer. Goodness. Well, anyway, I just had to let it out there, and at least I learned something today. I learned something in this episode. Well, it took me a matter of looking it up or searching it up and finding images for it to realize that it's that. So yeah, that's episode 2 of flight tutorials in FS2020. It's a bit of a short one, I know, but oh, I didn't mean to go there. It's a bit of a short one, but I hope the next one, if we go back here, I hope that episode 3 would be longer. Yeah. But until then, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode.